All right, folks, I'm trying something new here, so bear with me if this doesn't work. Um, I got this Nintendo 3DS. You can see it's a 3DS yesterday at a yard sale. It was actually given to me for free, and it's given to me because it was getting an error. The error was an error has occurred. Hold down the power button to turn off the power, then turn it on and try again. For help, visit support.nintendo.com, and I'll show you that screen right there. If you get that particular error message on your Nintendo 3DS, hope is not lost. You can probably fix it, and we're going to try and show you how to do that. And I am not an expert on this thing. I'm going to come back to myself. I'm not an expert on video games or video game repair, so if I can do this, just about anybody can. Usually, when you get that particular error, it's something with your wireless card, and your wireless card is you got to take off the back, and it's inside there. And I'll show you right now how to do that. I need to adjust my camera, so we're going to try to do that so that you can see what I'm doing down here. Right there's 3DS. Let me see if I can find somewhere to put it. I apologize for the quality of the video. This is the first time I've done something of this nature, and it's going to be weird and loud and crazy. Let me see if I can get a really good spot to put that, and I may try to edit this video to get it better. But okay, so we can see the Nintendo 3DS here. If you notice on the back, you have at the top you have 4 screws. So the first thing you're going to need to do is remove those 4 screws. So we're going to do that. Any smaller screwdriver will work. This is just a small Phillips head screwdriver. This is where the battery also is. So you just remove these 4 screws. If I can get, well, apparently that small screwdriver doesn't work, so we're going to switch to a little bit smaller one. This, I believe, is a 00 Phillips head, so we're going to get that in there. There we go. See, like I told you, I'm not an expert, but this is easy. I did this in like 5 or 10 minutes, and we're doing this live. I'm not going to edit much of anything. We'll get all 4 of those screws out. And they don't come completely out. And get that last one. If I can get my screwdriver. There we go. I didn't see any other YouTube videos on how to repair this issue. I saw a lot of speculations, and I did find some websites that talk about it, but none that actually show you how to do it. So then you just want to flip it over. That'll fall right out. You can see there's 2 little tabs, one here, one here. When you put it back on, they'll just slide right in. There's 2 little slots there, so that's pretty easy. Now you can see you've got this. This is your battery. For this, you're going to want to remove the battery. It just slips right out. So if you ever need to replace a battery in one of these, it's super easy. Then you've got 8 small screws that hold this part on. I believe there's 8. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and this one. And then a 9th one right on the slot here. So we'll go ahead and remove those. These might be a little tricky. I had a little bit of issues getting them out. Okay, there's one. A magnetic tip is a good idea. And I did this on a white piece of paper so that you guys could see exactly what I'm doing. I did have a small issue. You want the smallest screwdriver you can find here. And if I'm not mistaken, this is like a 00, I think is what it's classified as. Sometimes they want to skip on you, but you just put a little pressure on the screwdriver and I was able to get them out. And if I can do this, anybody can do this. I'm actually pushing down on the screwdriver a little bit to get that to seat down in there. You don't want to lose the screws. That would not be a picnic, because then you won't be able to put this thing together again. Okay. This went from being a $20 Nintendo DS to being a $50 or $60 or $70 DS if I want to sell it, which is the intention here. This is really, it's actually a lot simpler than I thought it would be. It's not a hard procedure at all. All you need is a tiny screwdriver. I could fast forward the video here, but I'm not going to. You know how they do when they take the screws out. It's kind of fun. I think I've got all but one. And try your best not to lose any of these. I would have showed you the error screen on this unit, but I've already fixed it, so can't do that. Okay, so I've got all these black screws out that go along the edge here, and I think there was one in the middle here. And now you're going to want to take the one out in where the game cartridge goes. It's right in the center, right there. And that just comes out the same way. And there we go. So you got one silver screw and I think 8 black screws. Now it's as simple as taking this off, if I did it right. I may have missed one. I did miss one. Right there he is. That little bugger got away from me. Alright, there we go. Now I got them all. Now that just pops right off. And you can see it'll flip forward. Don't like rip it off. It'll take things out. Like this little thing came out here, so I'll have to plug that back in, which is no big deal. It just plugs right back in. Okay, so the problem is this here is your wireless card. This is the wireless card. The wireless card from being dropped or something can be unseated from time to time. So you're going to want to take both your fingers, get on either side of the wireless card. I'm going to show you that wireless card so you can see it better. That came unplugged again, but that's okay. This right here is your wireless card. It may not have this white sticker on it. It might be something else, but it's always usually in that location on the 3DS. Plug that little bugger back in. Alright, so you'll take both fingers on either side and you're going to want to lift straight up, and that's it. Okay? Now, if the wireless card comes out, there's a little plug right here. This will need to be plugged back in, and that's pretty simple. You just plug it right back in. Okay, that's that. Now, all you do is reseat it. It's really super simple, and I don't know why this works and why it makes the error go away, but it does. You'll want to get that back in there real nice and straight. I might need to turn this so I can actually see. It's not the easiest thing in the world, and sometimes you'll have to mess with it and plug it back in a couple times. But that's okay. I got really big fingers, so if I can do this, it's easy. Yeah, that little bugger didn't want to go back in, but I got him. See that? I got him. He's back in there. Okay, if that comes off, just push it back on. It'll go right back on. It's a little small for my fingers. Okay, so on the other side of this wireless card is a little plug, and that plug goes into this slot right here. So you'll want to take that and line it up right in there, and then push, and make sure you hear that snap noise. Once you hear that snap noise, you're good to go. And you take this, flip it back over, make sure it seats down right. Okay, it's seated down right. Put all your screws back in. You can do it any direction you wish. And that's it. And when you turn the machine back on, that error will have gone away, unless you've got a bad wireless card or there's some other reason causing it. But generally, this is the reason that causes that error. And it's super easy to fix. If I can do it, anybody can do it, because, like I said, I know nothing when it comes to video games and repairing them. I have probably the least amount of knowledge of doing this as anybody. So hopefully this video helps somebody else who's having this issue. Or for us eBay resellers like I am, what this channel is about, hopefully this gives you guys a little bit of a extra edge when it comes to finding these things at yard sales or thrift stores or wherever else. If it has that error and it doesn't turn on, like I said, this was given to me for free at a yard sale. The guy says, I can't get it to work correctly. Just take it. And I wasn't even, my wife was actually looking at it, I was not, and she said, a 3DS. And he said, take it, it's yours, it's free. It had a Nerf case on it. She was actually admiring the green Nerf case that was on it. And like I said, there's no cuts or edits in this video, so this is how long this actually is going to take. It had a green Nerf case on it. She was actually admiring the case. She didn't even realize what it was when she first saw it, and the guy just piped right up. And this was not early in the morning either. People had probably looked at that DS a few times and decided not to buy it, or once he told them there was an error on it, they decided against it. This was probably 10 or 11 o'clock the sale started at 9, and this was at least 10 or 11 o'clock. I think it was closer to 11 o'clock when we got to that particular sale. Must have already got one in that particular hole. And the guy was like, yeah, take it, it's free. So I took it and all the accessories that came with it, which wasn't a whole lot. In fact, the manual that went with it was for a 3DS XL, which this is not. This is just a regular 3DS. It happens to be the Aqua 3DS. We have one more screw. Now I gotta find which hole it goes in. So I've lost track because I've been blabbing. I want to say it goes way right there. Okay. And then we have the card slot hole. So I've showed you from beginning to end how to fix that restart error, and I'll show the restart error again so that you guys can see it. We're going to put the we're going to put the battery back in. Make sure your battery, this lines up with the battery, terminal thingies. I don't know what the technical terms is. I'm not a mechanic or an electrician or a video game expert. I know nothing, but I'm doing it anyhow because I need to expand my knowledge on things, and I need to learn how to repair and fix and do things that other people aren't willing to do to make a couple extra dollars. So there you have it. Now we will turn it on. By the way, that's cool, isn't it? Look at that shiny thing. We'll turn it back on with the power button. Make sure everything turns on. We're doing this live, so if I screwed up, you'll be able to tell. There it goes. Okay, so prior to this, it would come up with your system needs updated, and when I did that, new item out, nice, a new notification. I don't do notifications because I'm going to set this back to factory settings, but it would say a system update is necessary, and when I went to do the system update, it wouldn't update. It would have already done that by now. And now, as you can see, I can do anything on this. Anything I would go to, if I were to go to the camera, for example, it would do that error. It wouldn't let me do anything. So I was able to start it, and I've been playing with this for a couple days, and it works great. So if you have this error, and I'm going to show it one more time. This is the error that you would get. I'm going to show me now since we don't need to see that anymore. I'm going to turn that off so it's not annoying. So that's the error you would get, and that is the repair to fix it in most cases. Now there may be other cases that cause that error, but the most general case that I found on the internet was that you may be able to get one of these in like an eyeglass repair kit, or a little video game repair kit, or an electrician, or not electricians, but like a jeweler's repair kit. Just look on eBay for the real tiny, forget precision screwdrivers. That's what they call them, precision screwdrivers, and you'll find something that'll work. I tried a little bit bigger one first, and it didn't work. So that is the tiniest one I could find. Just happened to have in my drawer, and it worked out great. So if you like this video, hit share. Share this around to your video game buddies who may have this error. Share it around to your eBay folks if you're a reseller. And get those Nintendo DS's, 3DS's fixed. Thanks for watching.